I want to extend a happy Veterans Day to all my fellow veterans. I always put myself in the category of the some, the all that gave some, and then there are some that are the some that gave all, meaning that they're either fighting in war, they fought a war, and as they've come home and transitioned into uh, their civilian career again, they sometimes have to uh, carry with them the images of war, and many are battling with post traumatic stress injury or post traumatic stress disorder. And what I mean by me being the all that gave some is I did serve during wartime, but I was not in a foreign line actually fighting that war. So again, I just want to extend a happy Veterans Day to those out there that have served, and then we also have those that are still serving. But what I want to talk about today is the concept of self-determination, which challenges us to make choices from within to create the life we wish to live. There's also the theory of self-determination where it states that you're creating your own destiny by choice. And what we mean by from within, it's not external forces that are telling us, all right, I should go this way or do that. Uh, Examples of where we get influence externally would be through advertising. They say we're in the market for a new car. Uh, we start uh, shopping around, we're seeing the commercials, then we end up in the dealer, we start talking to the dealer, and then we may go in there with one idea of what car we want, but then they start selling in all the bells and whistles, and then we decide, well, you know what? Maybe that is a better deal for me. Or they offer you uh, financing, something more attractive to get you to buy that vehicle. That's neither good nor bad. That's how business is done uh, many times. And again, that's external forces. Uh, what makeup to choose, what food to eat. You may get sold on the latest and greatest. When we're talking about internally, or that self-determination in the internal part, is we're putting all those other outside forces, we're like just shutting them out for a moment, and we go with inside and we say, what is going to be the best for me? What is going to help me move forward in this lifetime? I'll give you an example from my own life. uh, 30 years ago, I joined the U.S. Army, and it was something that was well thought out by myself. I didn't have really external forces other than a conversation with a gentleman who was in the military. At the time, I was trying to get into law enforcement, federal law enforcement, and then I was working as a security officer, doing retail security for local grocery store, and I just felt that my life was stagnating. So how could I move forward and get into that federal law enforcement? And I had a friend that introduced me to an FBI agent that was in one of his school psychology classes, and this gentleman said, you know what, you might want to consider getting into the military, specifically military intelligence or military police, and that might help you get some preference points when you're applying for these jobs. So as I sat and thought about this, my life wasn't going the way I wanted it. So I did join the Army. I was in a military intelligence school, uh, the Defense Language Institute, and they tried to teach me Russian. I didn't make it in that, so I chose what I thought would be a career advancement, which was in unit supply. Made that choices, ended up in unit supply school, and then eventually my permanent duty station. And one of the things while I was there, that's when the Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm started. Now we were not deployable, but we were getting units ready to go there, and we spent over 300 man hours over a course of 17 days getting a detachment of 14 guys ready to go to Kuwait. And it was during that time when this war was ramping up that I needed something to take my mind. I needed a diversion, and I remember having a friend who was an EMT. So I decided I'm going to go to a local community college out there. Went to the EMT school, And from there, I received my EMT license. And once I was discharged from the military, I came home, started work for a private ambulance company, went to paramedic school, started testing for fire departments, and eventually I landed with the Alsip Fire Department, in which I just recently retired from after 25 years. But the choice I made in the military opened the doors for me to go and get hired by Alsip, because I used military points that got me high up on the list. So I was hired, and then eventually I was promoted to lieutenant, and I was able to use military preference points to give me a few points there that put me near the top of the list. And the reason why I share this story is, if I didn't make that choice to go in the military, I could have ended up staying in retail security, and I ended up just going a different path. My life would have ended up a different way. And it also just choices you make when you're offered opportunity. You have to think it's got to come from within you. Is this what's going to be the best choice for me? Now, I'm just going to tell you, my journey's not done. I'm still moving onward, and it may take us a lifetime to get there, to realize the life we choose, and we really don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, you want to do the best you can with what you have in each moment, and that's going to be enough. And I'll leave you with this. A poet by the name of John Donahue once said, "When you've gone as far as you can go, quietly wait your next beginning." And it's just, you're going to keep moving. We will stumble, we will fall, but if we get back up and just keep moving forward, we will find and we will achieve the life we want to live. But really what you want to do is, whatever life you choose, try to do it with the intention, or setting intention, of making this world a better place to live. So now, till next time, take care and be well.